What if I told you that one of the most powerful stories in the Bible never mentions God's name once? No miracles, no prophets, no fire from heaven. And yet, God is working in every moment.
This is the story of a young woman who did not set out to be a hero, but became one at the risk of her life.
This is the story of Queen Esther and what it means to stand when silence surrounds you. And before we begin, ask yourself this: what do you do when God feels silent, but the moment still demands courage? As you listen, share your thoughts in the comments. This story may challenge how you understand courage, timing, and faith. The story of Esther takes place in Persia, long after Israel had been taken into exile.
God's people were scattered, living under foreign rule, far from Jerusalem, far from the temple. They were alive, but vulnerable.
And in this foreign empire, ruled by King Xerxes, a decision would be made that would change everything.
Queen Vashti is removed from the throne, and the king searches for a new queen.
Among the many young women brought to the palace was a Jewish orphan named Esther, raised by her cousin Mordecai. She was not royalty. She was not powerful. She was not outspoken. But she found favor. Esther became queen, and no one knew she was Jewish. Not the king, not the palace, not the empire.
Sometimes God positions people quietly before he uses them publicly.
In the king's court was a man named Haman, proud, powerful, and dangerous. When Mordecai refused to bow to him, Haman's anger burned.
But he didn't just want revenge on one man. He wanted an entire people destroyed. Haman convinced the king to issue a decree that all Jews would be killed on a single day. Men, women, children. The decree was sealed, and there was no turning back. Or so it seemed. When Mordecai heard the news, he sent word to Esther. But Esther hesitated. Approaching the king uninvited meant death. She was queen, but she was not safe. And here is where the story becomes uncomfortable. God does not speak. There is no vision, no angel, no voice. Only a moment that demands a decision. Mordecai sends back a message. Who knows but that you have come to royal position for such a time as this? Esther 4:14. Esther understands the cost, and she responds, I will go to the king, even though it is against the law, and if I perish, I perish. This is not loud faith. This is not dramatic faith. This is quiet obedience in the face of fear. Esther fasts. The people fast. And she steps forward. The king extends his scepter. Esther lives. Through wisdom, patience, and courage, Esther exposes Haman's plot. The enemy falls into the trap he created, and the people who were marked for death are delivered. God never spoke, but he never stopped working. The book of Esther teaches us something profound. God is not absent because he is silent. Sometimes he works through timing, favor, courage,
decisions made in fear, not certainty.
Faith is not always about feeling bold. Sometimes faith is saying, I'm afraid, but I'll obey anyway.
Many people today are like Esther, placed in moments they did not ask for, facing choices they did not plan, waiting for clarity that does not come.
And yet the moment still calls for courage. You may not hear God's voice, but your obedience may still change lives.
Esther's story leaves us with a question. If God has placed you where you are for such a time as this, will you step forward or stay silent?
If this story spoke to you, share your thoughts below. And if you want more Bible stories explained with clarity and depth, consider subscribing.